Hello, 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 crafty friends. I'm having so much fun working on the cards for this class. I was out here yesterday, last night, this morning, well, this afternoon, for a minute and a half. My point is, it's fun. You may notice that I'm wearing my snowflake sweatshirt or t shirt. And you might ask yourself, why in the world would she be wearing her snowflake t shirt on July 1st? Because today is officially Christmas in July. You've probably noticed that I said I was going to do the treasure album today, and then I switched gears. I switched gears because I looked at my calendar and realized we're supposed to do the kickoff for Christmas in July today. So here we are. I'll do the album later, but make sure 103 seem cooler. Well, it's about, I don't know, what would be in the 80s today here? Something. We'll get to 82 here in Oregon today. But fortunately, this is a t shirt and not a sweatshirt. Nonetheless, let's kick on that AC over there because, we need that. Okay, I see my friends Mary T, Jane G, I see Glenn and Sharma and Kim R. And once you get that, we'll have you scroll up and see who I missed. Irene, hello Irene. Annette, yay, glad you got your alphabet stamps, Annette. Okay, yeah, that was weird when you said, what happened with those? They didn't sell out already. Yes, they did. Okay, let's go ahead and put the camera on my hands. I have a desk full of creative wonderment here. Let me start by showing you a couple of the cards I've already done. Water bottles in the camera. Oh, Pop needs a swig. Nectar of the gods. Okay. All right. Here's one that I did using these little poinsettias. Now you see on this card why I like these little poinsettia clusters. I like them because they are almost perfectly sized for card making, aren't they? When you want little accent flowers, they're like perfect. And a lot of the poinsettia flowers that you get are just too big to pull something like this off. Hi, Betty G. So I'm really liking that. This was stamped on white paper, colored, and then I added a gold jewel to the middle of these flowers. And it's just on one of my 6x6 card bases straight out of that. Looks like that is trying to move. That is trying to move. This is on a 6x6 card base out of the recommended paper pack for today, which is the Candlelit Christmas. These actually aren't the poinsettias that are recommended for this set. I was looking at those earlier. They are a nice size also and would have been just fine with this, but this is okay. That's just not going to want to stick there. So I'm going to keep my finger in the middle of my card. But you can see the little poinsettias done on white cardstock, stamped, die cut, run through the mold, and putting a gold jewel in the center. This is another one using exactly the same poinsettias, but look at the difference we get in the poinsettia flowers. This is using kind of a wine-colored cardstock, and I just die cut them. I didn't stamp these. It was really no need on the wine. It's dark enough they wouldn't show anyway. So I just die cut these, ran them through the mold, and then I added some of our little prills. These are the same prills that Margie was using in class. In fact, she said, I use some of these and I can put them away in the drawer unless you want them for your poinsettias. And I said, yes, please. So it's the very same one she saw Margie using, but I put prills in the center of it, and that gives it a really nice, realistic looking flower. Not a lot of glitter and glam, not that it couldn't have. You absolutely could have. But yeah, I absolutely could put glitter and glam on these, but I just did a really traditional kind of card with this one. Next up, another version of our flower. Now this one I did get the glitter and glam on. I cut my piece of paper from one of the 12 by 12 pattern sheets, and I captured a lot of that filigree that was going down the side. This time I made my flowers on white cardstock. I colored them in blue, and I used stickles in the centers of my flowers. You'll also see little bits of my holly poking out from under there. When you're using a piece of paper that has a pre-printed design, the holly can be especially useful for kind of covering up the lower design so that you can make your own design on top. And of course, we have lots of beautiful stickles on this one. So there we go. Love this one with all the sparkles. You'll also note I'm using the white glitter card. The 5x7 glitter cards in white are just going to be fabulous for your Christmas cards. If you haven't picked some of those up yet, think about doing that. And the white works so well with the stickles because they have the same kind of iridescence. I happen to be using diamond. The other one that looks really good with it is icicle because they have warm highlights. So there we go. Those are 3 cards that are done. I'm in the middle of working on another one. Let me show you the paper I took this one from, and we'll just continue creating together. What kind of questions do you guys have for me, and what do you want to see from me? Now, Margie worked a lot on coloring the different kinds of flowers. This is the page I took my background from. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the page I took my background from. And it's on the back of the saying sheet. And I took my saying from the front of the sheet, my background from the back of the sheet. Okay, so let's get on with it. Where Margie worked more on the coloring of the flowers, I'm going to talk with you more about types of papers, and we're going to work more on the design of the cards, okay? So that's my thinking anyway. Tell me what you'd like to see too, and we'll try and make it happen for you. I have just a couple little pokies here. What did I do with my pen? There is. I have just a couple little bits to weed out of here. I looked for a Heartfelt Creations die that did what I wanted to do, and I didn't find one, so I'll show you the die that I'm using here. I decided that I thought this paper, I want this and this, would just look better if it had a border running behind it. So I'm going to glue these 2 borders together, back to back. Thank you, Brace, for cutting these for me. I'm going to layer these up so that this border isn't too wide. And I'm going to create this nice lacy piece to go behind. Yes, I did use the mold on the flowers and the holly leaves. Whoops! I just knocked off all my stuff, honey. If you'd grab that for me, that would be great. I got a little too animated there in my movements, and see, look what that's going to do. Let me put that back behind there. That's beautiful. So we will be we will be cutting out and molding one of our designs. Remember when we've talked about how if it doesn't show, it doesn't need to be there? I think I might just clip this. This is going to be behind my topper. And I think I'd like to have these nice complete rounds. So I'm going to put these on here that look really funny till we put the topper on top. But once the topper goes on top, then we have nice complete patterns at the top and the bottom. See that? So I think we're going to do that. So let's go ahead and glue these down. Just going to start by finishing this card, or finishing the outline for this card. Then we'll make some blue flowers to go on it together. This might be a good job for. It's not quite detailed enough to have to justify sticky specs, but it sure would be faster. I do have nice white places to glue to. Sticky specs are back, by the way. They came in this week. So if you've been waiting for those, like I know Roberta was, if there's others of you who have been waiting for those sticky specs to arrive, they are here. I got that a little too far over. I wonder if I can move it without making a big mess. I think I can. Not so far over. So sticky specs are back. I had mine sitting here on the desk. I don't know what I did with them. I have to look for my little folder. I must have put it in a stack tray. Anybody have big plans for the 4th of July? Hi, Elsie. Okay. All right. I'm going to glue this border down here. Like I said, it looks kind of wonky where I stack those two, but once I put my green on the top, it looks great. So we're going to do that. I do like that very much with that in the back. Get a sheet of foam squares out here. I have a roll of foam tape that's unwinding and sticking to everything in my drawer. And I'll just fix that. Okay. I do have an option I want to offer to you for the exchange if you guys are interested in that. I know one of the fun things about the card exchange is that you get so many Christmas cards in the mail, but I still want to offer you an option, and that is if you want to just send one card and a return mailer, a return envelope that I can use to send you your swap, I can have everybody send their cards to me. I can just choose one at random and return it to you. And then you won't need to make 30 cards. I will leave that completely up to you guys to discuss and vote on. I just know it kind of gets a little expensive for some with the number of stamps we're using. On the other hand, I also know it's really fun to go to your mailbox and get all these glorious cards. So I'm going to leave that completely up to you guys, how you want to do that. But I did want to offer you that option where you send me one card and a postage paid return envelope, probably a larger one so that I can send any size card to you. And I can play mix and match with the cards and send one back out to you. Completely up to you. But it's just a thought. Okay. I think these blue flowers are going to go really pretty on there. I took one of my blue cards and cut it up. And I have this kind of flower that we could make. But I think I'll wait on that and use these. But we need to make some more of them because I don't have enough to finish this card. So let's go to my little packet. Didn't think it was probably beneficial for you guys to watch me stamp. So I stamped a page of a 4 by 8 inch piece of white cardstock. And then I just really went, you're completely lost, Glenn? So we just met, oh, yes. If in the alternate plan, you just make one card, submit it, and you get one card back. It's just an option. And if you guys want to keep doing what we're doing, that's absolutely fine. I just heard about this other way of doing it, and it did make some sense to throw it out there to you. Yeah, no glitter, no foil. Nothing that is reflective on your cards, because it can help sight in on the soldiers. So I stamped my flowers on cardstock. You'll notice the very messy coloring job, and it's not even uniform, and I did that on purpose. I just took my sponge applicator and just went around and around and just kind of let the colors be what the colors are going to be, because I kind of like the variegation. So, all right, I'm going to take my die. I'm going to position it very carefully because these flowers are very small. The positioning of your die when you cut is super important. So I recommend putting them down with some temporary tape, or I use Post-it tape. I'm gonna line up on all four corners of my die, make sure I get something really nicely situated here. Okay, say hi to Jordan. Jordan just walked in. Bryce is my camera person, but Jordan just walked in. I'm wrapping that around my... Okay. Oops. It's lined up on my flowers over here. Get a nice, clean, really good matchup. And I'm going to wrap that around. Oh, he just uses little machines and sits out. I'm going to use my base plate, then my cutting plate, and my cardstock with my dies, and then my cover sheet. If it's too loose, I'll put in a shim, but I know it's not too loose because I made lots of flowers last night. I'm going to throw that info out there about the optional plan for doing things. It sounds like, if I can speak based on the questions I'm seeing, it kind of sounds like you guys don't mind making a larger number of cards and you're perfectly happy doing what you're doing. And if so, that's fine. I just wanted to offer an option if you guys were growing weary of making so many Christmas cards. One good thing about wrapping it around is my die certainly stays in place well. One bad thing about wrapping it around is that it can actually stick to the back of my flowers, the tape, because it cuts through it. Cuts right through the tape when I wrap it around. But we got some really nice line up on those flowers, so that's good. Okay, pop those flowers out. Undo my tape. Back. You don't actually have to wrap it all the way around. Sometimes I do, though, when precision is really important, like with these little flowers. I just don't want that die to move at all. Okay, I got the flowers out of that. I can wait and do this one later because we should have plenty of flowers here to do what we need to do. We can always make more because I also have all these made and cut. Now we're going to grab our mold. And this time I'm going to use my base plate, my shim, and my flower mold. I'm going to put my flowers in face down. I can put more than one per opening. Pop them right into the mold there. my spritzer bottle. Give them just a light spritz. Close my mold. Make sure my flowers didn't shift when I didn't get it on there right. Close my mold.
Backwards?
Nope. I have it on right, please. Come on. Okay. I'm gonna run this through my machine. Get rid of back through. Okay. Oh. Separate our blossoms where we put 2 in. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell where you put 2 in. Okay. Let's set our plates aside. And we'll make our flowers. We're just going to take 1 blossom, add a dot of glue in the middle. I'm going to take a blossom of the same size and put it right on top. Then I'm going to take a little one and I'm going to kind of alternate that in the center. And I get, come in closer, please. I get a pretty little 3-dimensional flower. See there? That's beautiful. All right. Okay. Let's stack up. Add a smaller petal to the center. I'll stack these up. So when I make these, my larger flowers always have 2 petals plus 1 smaller one in the center. But my little flowers that I have left, I'll make those into smaller poinsettias, and I just use 2 petals to make those. I think we'll put these flowers in our holly on, and then we'll add some stickles afterwards to the centers of our flowers. I had 1 extra petal. I wonder if one of those had 2. Or I have 1 hiding. But that's okay. Let's put that in my baggie for later, because we have lots of petals ready to go. Okay. Now let's see what we want to do here. I actually had one I kind of took apart. I could use that other molded. petal to fix that one. Where'd it go? There's that other molded petal right there. Chasing it, caught it. Okay. I have 3 little petals and 3 big petals. Oops. I got those into camera range. I pushed them the wrong way. Okay. I also have some holly cut and molded here. Done exactly the same way. Now, I often, in fact, almost always, cut my holly before I apply it to my card. I use my holly to make my cluster design bigger, fuller, prettier, and I was just looking at my job of putting that on. It looked like it could have been straighter, but I think it's okay. So I kind of build my design here. And I think I'll put one at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. I looked up at your comment, Irene, and when I first looked at it, I thought it read thumbs down. Oh! Okay. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out like that. I do like that, I believe. And then we'll tuck some holly in around it. So let's get some glue on the bottom of here. Oh, I told you I was going to show you which die I used too. It is this scent from Sue Wilson Creative Expressions. It is the Italian Collection Corner Border and Tab die. I chose this one because I'm using a 5x7 card, and most of the dies are not 7 inches long. Most of them are like 5 inches long, some 6, but it wouldn't have been big enough. Had I thought about it, I could have used a shorter one and cut it just like I ended up cutting this one to make it all fit, but I didn't think of that at the time. But this is the die I used. If you're interested in getting this die, I will put it on sale for you after class. And I actually probably will just stick it in the deep discount Heartfelt Creations folder where the sale items on the Heartfelt Creations are, just so you can find it easily. Sometimes these flowers try to kind of lift back up initially, so I hold them a little longer than normal. That one's trying really hard to get away. I'm gonna I could get my extra thick tacky out here. I have the bottle right here in my drawer. That would be another option. I'm trying to decide if I want a little flower there or a bigger flower there. I really don't mind that it kind of overlaps the deer a little bit. I think I'm going to go for a bigger flower there. I could do either. Okay, we'll get my extra thick tacky because there's no sense fooling around with Trying to get these to stick when I can just stick them right down with the thick stuff. Hi, Andrea. That's okay. That's the beauty of having everything videotaped, isn't it? Enjoy your company, and we'll see you after a while when you have time to watch. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take my holly, and instead of using these big old branches, I'm going to cut these little sprigs of holly apart and just stick my leaves in where I want them. That's easier than trying to fit the bigger pieces and make them go where you want them to go. I know I want a piece on this white because I really want the green to show up. I'm going to put this piece kind of coming down onto my topper. I'm just going to cut up some of these. We might have to run some more of these through our mold. These green. Did I cut more green? I think I did. Worst case, we'll cut more. That's what we'll do. These little sprigs of holly look kind of funny when you cut them away from the bunch, but they sure look pretty when you stick them underneath. I didn't see most of Margie's class yesterday because I was working on my class, but I saw the cards that came out, and boy, did she do a pretty job on her hyacinths, didn't she? She just keeps getting better and better all the time. So glad to have Margie back. My goodness. Margie's kind of quiet and does her own thing and has her agenda and just kind of works her agenda. But when she's gone, I'm totally lost. Just lost, I'm telling you. I texted her and said, remind me when you come back that you need a raise.
Me too.
Yeah, you can put it on my tab.
Pay your tab.
Bryce says he wants a raise too. He gets nada. Nothing. But the joy of living with me. And what a joy that is, huh, honey? If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. That's what my mom taught me.
Yeah, she taught me that too.
Kim says you're a good man, Bryce. Minimum wage goes up in Oregon as of today's the first, right? As of today, minimum wage in Oregon. You guys in other parts of the country won't believe this, but our minimum wage is now 15.45. It went up today. Can you believe it? There was a time I just didn't think I could pay that. I thought that'll put me out of business, but it didn't. And I feel better as an employer paying a fair wage. Wowzer. I'm loving this. Look at this. Back up just a little, honey. Hi, Anastasia. I'm going to put some stickles in the middle of our flowers there. And then this is going to be beautiful. Some of you guys have minimum wages that are like 7 something. So people who live in the state of Oregon, and especially in the Portland metro area, it's much higher in Portland metro than it is in other parts of the state, like $2 or $3 higher.
Just $1.
$1 higher? Really? Okay, so I lied. I didn't mean to, but it is higher in the Portland metro area than it is in other parts of the state. Now that's still wet, so it's not going to sparkle as much as it will once those are dry. But what do you guys think of that one? That might be one of my favorites. I'm doing great, Anastasia. How about you? Betty called you the first dude in the purple people's house. Isn't that turn out pretty, guys? Wowzer, I love that. I love it. We better put that on the table so I don't put, well, I do want to show it when the sparkles dry. Is there any place I can make it safe?
No.
Huh? No? You can bring it back then. Bryce knows me. He says, nope. You cannot hang on to that because you can't be trusted not to put your arms in it. And he is right. He is right. Let me show you some of the other flowers before we go on to our next one. You saw this one. This is the one I put my prills in. And you saw this one on a card. This is my red one where what did I do with this one? I did something. I put the gold rhinestone in the center.
Show the first one again. Now that we're up close.
This one is the one I put prills in before. Here, let me show you the actual cards again. Now that you can see up close. So I put the prills in. So in the red ones. And this one, sorry for the fuzziness because we're in really close and I keep moving. Here's what it looks like when we put the rhinestones in it. And then this is what our blue will look like on our other one. We just finished when it dries. So we put those stickles. Now let me show you a couple other flowers that I've been fiddling with. This is done with tomato color velvet paper. These just look rich. You know, the coloring is rich, the texture is rich. So we'll try those on something. This looks rather Asian. I used that embossed vellum we have in red. And I did it in burgundy. What I think I need for the centers of these, and I forgot to have you get them, was gold, true gold rhinestones. I need gold rhinestones for the centers of these. You know what? I have some in my box.
Black.
Huh?
Black rhinestones would really.
No, gold.
No.
Yes.
Black.
Okay. So those are a few of the papers that I've done. I could also use vellum. I could use, one of the ones that's really pretty is to use our shimmer papers are beautiful. So there's just so many different papers you can choose. As Margie showed you, you can take one paper and decorate it a multitude of ways. But you can also just come up with an amazing variety just going through your paper. Oh, and here's another one I did. This is cut out of one of our glitter cards. I decided that I want to use the glitter card as a background. cover it with paper and then use glitter flowers. Maybe that's what we'll do next. Let's see what we're going to do. Let's get our papers down here and pick one out that we want to use. Now, we don't have to worry if it already has flowers on it, because we can just cover those up. So I need to make a 5x7 card. So 6x6s are too big. This one would be pretty. Oops. Not even showing you that one right there would be pretty. We'll keep that in mind. I could cut this into a 5x7 and use blue flowers on it. That actually might be really pretty, you know what? That might be an option. The red looked pretty too, though. Now, these flowers here will not match your poinsettia clusters. These go with the poinsettia and holly dies, which we also had. I've heard from Roberta this week, Glenn. For some reason, she just hasn't been able to chat. But I think she's doing fine. But if you don't have this die set, of course, you can always turn these over and use the other side of the papers. But this is using the poinsettia and holly. We're using the poinsettia and holly clusters. I know it can get confusing. This could be pretty if we cut off. That'd be beautiful if we cut off some, wouldn't it? Of course, that's 6 inches. My card's 7. But I could cut my card down a little too.
Or use a 6x6.
But I'm wanting to use my glitter card, which is a 5x7 card.
Cut it down. Cut it down.
I definitely love that panel.
What paper pack is this?
This paper pack is we didn't have the paper pack anymore that exactly matched the poinsettia and holly clusters that I wanted to use. So this one is Candlelit Christmas, and it's on sale for half price to support this class. Now, that's got so much blue, I'm not sure that's actually a good match for that one. But this one, I think we could make this work. Yeah, I think we could make this one work out really well. Go right to the bottom of the lantern to get this flower above. It's actually maybe even a little too big. Let's see. Well, maybe not. Yeah, because I have to cut it down.
What about this red one in the middle? The blue flowers.
Yeah. We can try that.
It's like that size.
This actually could be really pretty, couldn't it? And then we could cover it with our made flowers. All right. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut this paper. I'm going to start in cutting this paper by looking for my one long line across the paper. There usually is one. So I'm going to cut along this long line first. Then I'll come in and cut these two. Okay.
You insist.
There actually is an art and science to how to cut up your paper pack. Okay. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that's really an awful lot of blue. So I'm thinking that maybe we want to layer this card.
Wait,
Huh?
wait.
I was just thinking the same thing. What am I?
I think you have a piece of white behind you of cardstock.
Good point.
Well, there's that one, but there's another one on the other side.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to cut this to be, let's see, I think this is 6x4 probably. Yes, it is. So I'm going to cut this to 6.5 by 4.5. Kind of roughly on that side, so I'm going to turn my cardstock around and see what this looks like. We can make this smaller if we want to, but I couldn't make it bigger, so. Oh, I'm liking that though. What do I think? Do we want to make that white border just a little bit narrower?
Yes.
I think so too. Let's go to 4 5/8 by 6 3/8. Let's see what we think. That's better. Yeah, that's right. We got it now. Okay, let's glue this down. Well, it's good to see you, Elsie. How are you doing, my friend? One thing about this really thick glue, it doesn't just run right down in the bottle. You have to shake the bottle sometimes, even when it's got quite a bit in it, because it's really thick and it just kind of sits up there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And let's go ahead and lay this down. I really do like these little poinsettias. Just such a neat size. Like I said, even though some of the flowers in this are going to be a little bigger than the flowers that I'm adding, but I think we'll use those velvet ones this time, but I can just use my holly to fill in around things. That's going to be pretty, don't you think? We're going to need some more of our glittery flowers made. So let's run these through our press. We can do them all in one run. And it looks like I could use some more holly too. So we'll take some of these holly pieces I cut and run them through at the same time. Then we'll have plenty of stuff to work with. So I'm going to take these. Oops, I'm going to open my mold. Can't tell you how many times I've loaded the mold on the outside. Which is pretty silly. I admit it, but I never promise not to be pretty silly.
Oh, Chelsea's doing fine. She's been in the garden most of the day.
Wow. That's dedication. I have never been a garden person. Bryce is a garden person. He would be more of a garden person if I would cut down my trees, but I won't. I will not cut down the trees. The solar people came through and said, yeah, we can get you solar power and you can end up having virtually, no or a very small power bill, which I have to admit is very attractive because we have the shop and the warehouse in our house, and it's a lot of space. So our power bill is very, very big. That's before my father-in-law leaves the doors open all day and all night because he's sure his cat can't get in and out her cat door. So we have a horrific power bill. But we would have to cut down our trees. And no, I'm not going to go green by cutting my trees down. That just makes no sense to me. No sense at all. Why would you do that? Why would you cut your trees down? I don't want to. Bryce has always wanted to cut my trees down because he doesn't have a good room for a garden. My neighbor wants me to cut my trees down because he gets shade in his yard. We're not cutting my trees down. We moved here because we had beautiful trees in a park-like setting. Why would we want to do that? The solar companies, one after another, said, yeah, if we just take this one out, part of that one, some of this and some of that. No, we will not go green by cutting my trees down. We will not do it. Right, Jordan?
Yeah. I totally know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the solar companies wanting to cut the trees down.
Oh, yeah, no, keep the trees.
So we could go green by cutting our trees down. That made no sense to me. No sense to me at all. It takes a minute to load all these in the mold, but it's worth it because we get them all done at one time. It's nice when they go right in. They don't always. If I sat here and turned them, I could get them to go in perfectly. I don't have that kind of patience, so I just usually put them in close. And eventually they do it. Oh, is Teddy in here?
Yeah, he's right next to you.
Teddy, I think you should let everybody see you since you got a new dude today. And you look so pretty. He just looks so darn pretty, guys. Whew. Okay. We're going to spritz these. Only ones I would not spritz would be vellum. We'll give those a little spritz. When you really fill the mold like I just did, it tends to be a little resistant to closing. That's okay. It's normal. Okay.
Hey, what you doing?
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to use on my little machine here. It's going to be different on every machine. I've had a lot of questions about which machines these molds will and won't work in. The only ones I know for sure they will not work in, this is the only ones I know for sure, is Gemini machines. Do not have a wide enough opening to take the mold. But this little Cut and Go Pro that I'm using here is a little value machine, and it takes them just fine. My big Couture Creations Go Power and Emboss machine takes them just fine. Neither one of these are on the list of machines that take them, but they do work just fine with these machines. So not everything has to be on the list. What you need is a machine that has an opening that's 6 inches wide and an opening that is at least 3/4 of an inch tall.
Everyone else, what about Impress? Can you use the mold in it?
I believe you can, but measure it. Measure the width of the opening. It needs to be 6 inches or more. And the height of the opening needs to be 3/4 of an inch. If you got that, the molds won't work. You may have to manipulate your plates a little bit, but you have to do that even, you know. You always have to kind of play with the plates and figure out what works well for your machine. But I believe it's an Impress. Is the Impress, is that the Anna Griffin one? If it is, that's what Margie has. And she uses the molds with hers. I'm not positive that's the same one, but just measure the opening. Are you going to come over and see us, Ted? Okay, let me just move their flowers out of the way just a little bit. And then Teddy can say hi. Hi, buddy. Hi, hey, hi. Hi. Can you sit? Sit. You're going to sit right in my flowers, aren't you? Here, sit. Come on, sit down. There he is. There he is. There's our buddy. Oh, he said, oh, I like that, Mama. Just scratch that spot. Get out. Yes. There we go. Look at that face. Could he be happier? Oh. Just scratching around that harness. And here comes my other boy. This is Jordan's boy, Kid.
Can't really see Kid with Teddy's big head.
When he can get up here when Teddy gets down. Okay. Thanks for coming to visit, Ted. Kid's killing me with his nails here. Okay. Teddy's down. Here's Kid. This is Kid. This is Kid. Hi. Does Kid love his grandma? He said, I don't know what you're doing, Grandma. I'm not sure I'm liking this at all.
No, he does not like to be on tables.
Who don't like to be up here? He said, no, Grandma, I don't like it. I don't like it, Grandma. Even with kisses? Yeah, he said, this isn't my cup of tea.
I got you.
Kid is one of my grand puppies. Okay, let's get our flowers put together. All right. So I think we're going to use these. Oops, you got to move my camera back down, honey. He's still playing with the dogs. We're going to use these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Aren't they pretty? That's gorgeous. This is out of I took one of my cards and cut it up so I could make flowers that match the other card. Yeah, he's like, take me down. You're right. He was not enjoying the experience. He might have enjoyed it had I had treats, but I did not have treats here. I am remiss in my pet duties. I did not have treats on my desk. Teddy's been doing that his whole life. He said, whatever, put me on the table, whatever. And they haven't, these papers and dies are from Heartfelt Creations. They have not closed their doors yet, but they will be closing their doors before the end of this year. At this point, we still have a beautiful selection of Heartfelt Creations. I actually suspected we were going to see some kind of a message from them and started buying their stuff up long before they made the announcement. So we are going to have a selection of Heartfelt Creations for quite a while. But the fact that they are clearing a lot of their product is why I'm being able to offer some of these products at the amazing, wow, let there be light, and it was so, is why I'm being able to offer such amazing deals on some of these products. This bundle that I have here, the mold used to be $29.99. The die was $29.99, and the stamp was $19.99. And we have a bundle in our store right now that is $39.99 for all three of those products. So we are offering some remarkable. There's a little tiny tray up where those trays are. Would you get it, please? These prills are like gold. I don't want to waste them. There's a little tiny one in there. Let's see, I just got them all over. And I don't like that when I do that. That one. It's a diamond dot tray, but I won't tell if you won't.
You just did.
Okay, what kind of center should I put in my glitter flower? Should we use our what will make what were you saying, Anastasia? What will make your dog sick? These look really pretty with that. Guess we just need two of those. This works great for the little frills.
Looks like your tray is sticky. You'll have to.
Yes, it is. Oh, well, that's not good. You could have told me that before I poured the stuff in. That's true. A small spoon would be a very good idea. This would not be a bad idea if it was clean, but he handed it to me and didn't tell me it was sticky in the middle.
Didn't ask.
Yeah, some treats really are bad for your dogs. Others not so bad. We're really discriminating about what Ted gets. He gets certain kinds only. But, okay, I think we're going to use maybe stickles. This is falling apart on me. The audacity of it to fall apart on me. Moved it before it was dry. I think we'll use stickles in the middle of the blue ones, which means I'm going to put those on last. Did I use? I think I just used regular glue on these, didn't I? I should have used thick glue on these too. When these dry, they'll be fine, but they're kind of persnickety till they're dry. It's thick glue on these too. I have this Elmer's or Aleene's ultra thick. We bought it for the treasure box, but I have to say it's actually come in handy a few times for other things that I want to grab really quickly, like these flowers. I'm kind of squishing them. Huh? Good night, Elsie. Okay, I'm going to take this one. I already put a center in. Take the center out. I'll use that for my fourth one. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at how we're going to decorate these. The first thing I'm going to need to do is fill in a bit around this red flower in order for my red flowers to cover, since they're smaller than the one in the sample. So I'm going to just build a little base around here to kind of hide some of the red. Oh, come on. Is there other things you guys would like to talk about with the building the poinsettias? Is there anything you're curious about? Something we haven't talked about? You can use all of the same techniques, the glacier glue and the glacier paste and some of those things that Margie showed you. You absolutely can do that.
Sure glue right in front of the camera.
Yeah, that was useful, wasn't it? Okay, let's see how we're doing. Already got a long ways towards getting it filled in. Need some more up here. I know some of those cards Margie made sure were pretty. We do still have a few sets of the hyacinth left. We sold out once, but I had some more individual pieces, so I built some more kits, and they're back up at the bargain price again. Yeah, that looks great. I think we'll just glue that there. I do need to kind of push this down into the glue a little bit without getting into my prills there. Okay. These blue are going to fit right over the top of the other ones nicely. So I'm just come on. There we go. Well, Betty, I'm sure it was disappointing to have problems with your roof and lose all your food, but I'm sure glad you didn't end up losing your house like some people do in those very violent storms. So I'm feeling like the loss of stuff in the refrigerator and some damage to the roof could have been worse. There's a blessing buried there somewhere, I think. Okay, let's do the bottom. I'll clip some of our leaves off. I almost never, I seldom use these leaves in the whole piece. I almost always end up clipping them and putting them where I want them. Sometimes people get confused with their flower arranging on their cards because they can't see how to make the pieces fit. And I say, make the pieces do what you want them to do. So, just kind of build out around this one so that my flower will cover. I'll try setting my flower in there and see if I like. Oh, I do like what I see. That looks terrific. Let's put a little more glue in the center there. Reach in with my scissors and push that down into the glue some. That looks great. I'm going to put my blue flowers in on the sides. Then I'm going to put a little bit of holly around my blue ones too, just to kind of carry that theme of having some little pieces of holly come out from those. You are missing a layer. I know you are because you see it on my work table. Come on. Let's just put you down. Put you on top. There. Okay. Cut up a few more of these. Yeah, it does look like a July 4th card. Wasn't intentional, but it really does. I'll put a little glue on the back here and kind of slide some of these holly petals in around the blue. I like to actually let the flowers kind of go out over the edge a little bit, over the borders. And I think we'll put some stickles on our ornaments too. Because the ornaments are going to kind of get lost in all this beautiful blue shininess. So I think we'll put some stickles on the ornaments hanging down. How you doing, Brenda? You doing all right? Anybody have any special plans for the 4th? Having barbecues or going to a barbecue or going to a relative's house? We've decided we're going to stay home and maybe barbecue. Now, when you look at the paper pack, you can see, and our sample cards, you can see how easy it is to just create beautiful cards using the base they already have for you. Oh, 111. Yikes. That's not fun. No, a large part of the country is having just huge temperatures.
Katie's birthday is July 5th.
Oh, fun.
Betty's going to stay home.
The flower's still trying to move on me. Okay, put some pretty stickles in the blue, and the glitter on those isn't even going to show now. Oh, she turns 14. That's such a special and yet trying age for girls. Sorry if my tapping's driving you crazy, but I had to get my stickles to the bottom of the bottle. I wanted a nice thin line to come out. Put some stickles on this. Come on. Used my pen to put in the roll of tape. So I have to get rid of it. Sometimes your glitter can kind of jam up a little bit in your stickles bottle. Get in the way of your getting the line you're going for. And you just have to take a pen and clear it. I do think this is going to be quite pretty when it's done. I'm going to have to let that stickles dry and see what we get. I see just a couple more spaces on this red flower in the bottom where we could cover up a little bit of the petals behind it. So I'm going to do that. But that would have been miserable to have your AC out in these temperatures, Betty. I just melt when it's hot, so I can only imagine what it's like to be in all that heat. Okay, I think we're done. One thing it needs, though, is a sentiment. Could use that one. That's actually good colors. We have some others here. On one of these pages, there were some really good.
Anastasia.
Good night, Anastasia. Thanks for dropping by to see us. I really do have some. Honest. Where'd they go? Huh. Let's go back to one of the sheets. One more time. There they are. There they are. I'll put that one right in the middle. Or we can take one of these others. The season's greetings might be pretty. That really does match well. I have that one. I put stickles in the middle of the blue flowers. They should look nice and sparkly when they're dry, but it's not going to show much yet.
They should vote.
What's that?
They should vote which tag they like the best.
Okay.
That one.
Like Joy to the World. I might put that on a piece of. I'll put a piece of edging behind it.
Your blue sparkly edging.
I could. I was just thinking using a little of the green that we used for the. They might be out of that though. Holly green.
What are you going to put in the middle of the blue flower?
I already did. I put the stickles in there. Actually, I like the green.
The stickles.
What do you think of the green in there? I put stickles in the center of the blue flowers, and it doesn't show much yet because they won't get glittery until they're dry. But what do you think? Christmas blessings? I like that one there. Is that one okay? I think we'll go with it. Does Mary? We have that choice, or we have this choice. This ticket to go there. Which one? You like the green or the ivory? That's the one. Which one? Okay, blue, green, ivory.
Number 2 is green. We have 2 votes green, 2 votes.
Is number 2 green?
Oh, 3 green. So I think green's. Oh, there comes ivory again.
Okay.
Both are nice.
What was number 2? Was it
green?
Blue with green. This one.
Blue with green.
So far, I think green's winning. Okay. That's what we're going to do. We're going to leave the green. Okay. Really nice paper pack, though. We have a number of tags and things. Next, how are we doing? 3:30?
Yeah.
We'll make one more card. And this time I think we'll use a bow. Uh-oh, I just stuck my finger in the stickles. I had such a beautiful line going there. Now I don't. But it is still a pretty card. Better save that from me. We'll do one more. Let's just pick one out. And I think we need to put a bow on one. I have used no bows and I'm feeling bow deficient. I do love those red velvet flowers, I gotta say. Could make a smaller card. That'd be pretty. That'd look pretty. Well, we already did a candle, though. We did a couple of candles. Coming back to this one again. I really like this big picture. Let's take a 5-inch slice off this side of this paper. Which is just right. You know what we could do? That'd be fun. Where are my DL cards? This could be a DL. Ooh, I wasn't even thinking about that, but I do believe we can get a DL card out of here. And we could take the deer and still get that top poinsettia. Let's do that. I haven't made any DLs. Don't have room for a border, don't have room for a lot of things. But I can get that on there. Whew. Okay. I lived in Yakima, Washington for a while, and that is, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Yakima, but it sits right at the foot on the east side of the Cascade Mountains. And so a lot of the raindrops on the mountains, and snow and rain, as it comes over. And so Yakima is largely a desert, very deserty. And the first week I lived there, one day it was 115 degrees, and I opened the door and there was a tumbleweed sitting on my front porch. And I thought to myself, what in the world have I done? My apartment there did not have air conditioning, but I got myself a swamp cooler, like you're saying, and it's amazing what a swamp cooler can do.
Did you answer Kim's question?
What was the question? And can heartfelt creations be done like hunky dory when you lift the border? Oh yeah. Yes, it absolutely. There's no reason why you can't make shaker cards out of this. They're not die cut like hunky dory. You know, you'll have to do your own cutting, but no reason why you can't make beautiful shaker cards from Heartfelt Creations. Okay. I'll go through and cut this off and see what we end up with. I think we're going to end up with something pretty terrific, but you never know. You never know. And me, I do it live. So, there we go. I think that is pretty terrific, actually. I like that a lot. Very pretty. Okay. So, do we want to use, let's see, well, those, we do have these flowers we can use, which are similar to what's on there. Want to use those? Or you want to use the velvet ones? Velvet? Bryce says velvet. I do like these too, though. I think they turned out really pretty. I don't want to totally ignore them, but... Okay, we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to kind of hide some of the other flower underneath it by using some of our holly. I think we'll go ahead and put frills on this too. Hopefully my tray is dry now and no longer sticky. Okay. Go ahead and get my prills drying. We'll show our cards again here as soon as we finish this one. We've got quite a few samples, really. I think you have a really good idea of how to take off and get a gorgeous selection of cards from your kid. These little prills, oops, that's not what I meant to do. These little prills come in these little tiny vials, and they're like 4 something, 5 something. And you think, man, that's expensive for that little vial of stuff. It is, but it's like the Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going and going. You get one of these little bottles, it'll last a very long time because you see what we're using from it. Just a tiny, tiny amount goes forever. We got our prills on.
Brenda had bought this set in paper pack, so she's been waiting for this class.
I'm so happy you have it because it really is great fun. And I hope we've given you some good ideas about materials that you can cut your flowers from to get some really neat effects. Okay, let's see. I need to put down some leaves and really kind of stretch these designs. Get some nice holly up here. Block that old stuff. I hope the rest of you will give a try to the poinsettia clusters. It really is an exceptional value for the set with the mold and the dye and the stamps. Then the paper pack is on sale, which is another great buy. So I don't know if the paper pack is in the sale category or not. You might link the paper pack for them if you would, just to make it easier to find.
Do you have the number there on the paper pack?
I do.
It's right up on
You
the
can
top.
just type candle lit, CANDLE lit, and there it is.
This one.
Yes. Yeah. $12.50, and we're going to link that for you so you can get this paper pack if you want it. What I love about these flowers is, and I said this before, but I love the size of these flowers. It's just so nice, to be able to fit them right into your designs.
Kim asks, is HD doing their normal what's for Christmas? What's? I'm not sure what that word is.
Hunky Dory is doing Craftaganza. We have it on order. And as soon as Brittany and I have time to get them listed, we will have your pre-order kits available. We've decided that we're going to do I can tell you that the Hunky Dory kit's going to be very, very, Craftaganza is going to be very, very attractively priced. You won't believe the price. And then we've decided that we're going to that we're going to offer an ultimate kit also. Oh, Deborah. Sometimes I just forget that things are wet and stick my finger in them. That was wet. I stuck my finger in it. So now I'll add some more prills. Because sometimes I'm a doofus. So Hunky Dory is actually on the way. I can't tell you the exact date it's going to get here. I do believe it will get here earlier than last year, though. And then I have some Hunky Dory coming directly from UK, including more of the construction glue. I promised you I'd get more. I went back out to the Hunky Dory site and I ordered that. And I ordered a few more products so that I can show you what's coming up. Some of you will be able to get them early, and others will need to wait for the bundle to get here. But that messy looking poinsettia is going to look better when I pour off the excess frills. But I didn't want to do it yet. I don't want to do it yet while the flower's still wet, because I'm afraid what I'll pour off is the flower. They have a really big Christmas offering this year. They have a gnome collection, which of course we have ordered because you guys love gnomes. A lot of you love gnomes. And they have a Frosty the Snowman collection that looks really, really cute. And lots of fun things this year. We have more on the way. I couldn't believe that 12 bottles of that construction glue went out in one day. That was amazing. Okay. Now this flower is going to look better when the prill's dry and I can shake off the excess. But look how pretty that is, guys. I'm looking at the... Yeah, I'm looking at this and thinking I need to slide another leaf in there. One of my holly leaves just escaped completely underneath the poinsettia. It's covered with glue on the back too. Why it escaped, I do not know. And just look at you. You are just being naughty. Do you just want to go somewhere else entirely? Okay, there you go. Stay there. Okay, now I'm happy with it. That looks a little better already. There we go. Back up a little, hon. We could still add some stickles to the snow line around the candle if we wanted to. Didn't it turn out fun? Pretty DL Christmas card. Okay, let's take a look at what we've made. We'll need the other ones back. I'll try to keep my fingers out of the wet stickles and prills and other things. No guarantees. I have so many flowers left. I really overmade flowers. That's normal for me, by the way. He's getting those. I'll show you this one more time. This is just really pretty, I think. I love that. Oh, now this is beautiful. We made this one. I love that one. Can I have the others that were done already too? We just made this one. They're on my desk.
Must be under your paper there, because I don't
Must be.
have them.
Okay, we just made this one a minute ago. Let's see if we can find. Oh, here they are. So here's 6 cards. Here's this one. This one.
It's upside down. No,
That's
no,
not.
it's not.
And this one. What kind of questions do you guys have for me? You all ready to go out and make some poinsettias? Beautiful little poinsettias that work so well in clusters. Thus the name Poinsettia and Holly Cluster. Bryce linked them for you. So if you want to pick up these sets while they're still on sale, they won't be on sale forever. But I did want to offer you a great price to get started with this collection. See, I guess that's going to be $40. It's about $52 for the paper pad, the die, the stamp, and the mold. Dies are no longer available from Heartfelt Creations. Just stuck my finger in this one. Push glue backward along.
Don't touch.
So I think this is my favorite. I think that's my favorite. And I will put this die on sale. If you want to put this, if you want this, put it in your shopping cart. And when we finish here, it will come up at half price. This is CED 1502. Let's link it, please. It's 34 now, so it'll be 17 for the set of 3 big, beautiful dies from Sue Wilson. Are there any questions? We have so many good things coming up for you for Christmas in July. Everything in the month of July in our stream, well, except What's New Wednesday, will be Christmas projects. So we have all kinds of wonderful Christmas projects lined up for you. It's going to be great fun. Very, very fun. If there are no questions or comments, please be sure you hit that like button. Thank you, Betty, for reminding everybody. Hit the like button if this has been a good class for you and you want to tell everybody it's a fun class. I love the comments that you guys are placing under the videos. That also makes Heartfelt YouTube. That also notifies YouTube that we're a good place that they can feel good about recommending. And if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss anything that we're up to. There is going to be just terrific, wonderful Christmas things going on all month. Okay, very good. If there are no questions, questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, I'm going to say, good night, Gracie.